Hey everyone, welcome back to the Daily Try. These are my top performers from the 2023 Ironman World Championship that happened in Nice. What a race that was. I loved it. The course was insane. It was so unpredictable, and yeah, I stayed up most of the night watching it, so I was exhausted afterwards. Was hoping to put this out yesterday, but decided to take a day off, which I haven't done in a while. But I always get roasted for doing these best performances, but keep in mind they are my performers who I thought performed better than expected. But please do argue with me, roast me down below, and let me know who yours are that you thought surprised us all from the weekend. So first off, I think we can all agree with Sam Laidlow. First ever French athlete to win, the youngest ever Ironman world champion, the first ever Ironman win for Sam Laidlow, believe it or not. It was such a tough year for him. I think so many of us wrote him off, even though he did have a couple sneakily good results in there, including a win at Challenge Gran Canaria and a win at Challenge London while everyone was at the US Open, gawking over Jan Frodeno like myself. So he was in really good shape, and he said he was feeling fresh, and he thinks that might have been an advantage he had over other people who had trained maybe a little bit too hard going into the race. He even said, though, it didn't really suit him perfectly, as he's a bit of a bigger athlete, but I mean, just the way he rode that bike. He made other amazing cyclists look like they were barely moving. He rode fast as Cameron Wurf did back at the June Ironman Nice race, and that was 10 kilometers shorter. He then put 4.5 minutes into Cameron at this race, and Magnus Ditlev as well, and 6 minutes faster than Rudy von Berg, who grew up here. And he ran a 2:41 marathon, which, remember, just a few years ago, that was like the gold standard. Jan was running that at his best back in his heyday, and yeah, I think just one of the most all-around performances we've ever seen. I think I'm gonna give it the second best performance of the year behind Magnus's result in Roth. So yeah, Sam Laidlow, now the man to beat. But then moving on to my second best performance, I'm giving this one to Bradley Weiss. Now, I'm a huge fan of Bradley. He's also South African, and after meeting him, he's just a wonderful guy. And I was heartbroken to see him get one of the two big penalties we saw this weekend. The other one I'll talk about in my unfortunate performances video coming up next. But yeah, he received a penalty, he said, when he was climbing a 10% switchback at less than 10 kilometers an hour. So a brutal call that I know he was with Ditlev and Rudy von Berg at the time. So 5 minutes he had to wait, which always takes out more than 5 minutes at the end. And it looked like he could have been in for a top 5 result, but still finishing 7th. After that, after losing touch with the group, he was flying up those hills as a 59 kilo athlete. It was made for him. He still ran super well and had that front pack swim that he's been training for and suffering with Jan while he's training with Jan at altitude. Huge congrats to him to stick that one out mentally. If you go back and watch it, the penalty at 3 hours and 13 minutes into the race, you'll see he really lost his cool. But to somehow go back from reacting like that to pulling off a ridiculous marathon after that bike ride where he overtook two of the athletes to go from 9th to 7th right at the end. Just an all-around day for Brad, and definitely deserves my second best performance. Moving on to my third best performance, I'm giving this one to Leon Chevalier. I was just really impressed from the get-go with Chevalier. He swam in the second pack. He managed to not get dropped like the likes of Joe Skipper and Matt Hansen, who really didn't have the day they were hoping for. And then, yeah, he went to work on the bike as we all expected him to do. I don't think we expected him to lose the 8 minutes he did to Sam Laidlow, but still, it was far better than most of the field. And then his run was 2:39, so he broke the 2:40 mark. Just an all-around day from Chevalier and a 5th place result that he was super proud of. So Chevalier gets my 3rd place pick. But then on to my 4th best performance, and that is Gregory Barnaby. He had a brilliant front pack swim. He's new to long distance racing, you have to keep that in mind. So the fact that he did that well on the bike and followed it up with another brilliant marathon is just incredible to me after only doing Ironman Israel, his first Ironman race last year, where he broke the Italian Ironman record. So yeah, Gregory is one for the future. He climbed those mountains as good as most, and I think he'll be a weapon in Kona come next year. Keep an eye out for him. And then my fifth best performance, I'm giving this one to Arthur Horseau. Now, some of you guys might be like, what about Rudy von Berg, fourth place? I think, again, just as I said in the beginning, I would have expected Rudy to go a little bit better on that bike ride, not lose as much time to Laidlow. A lot of people picked Rudy for the win. However, he is still my pick after Arthur Horseau because Rudy had a brilliant day, ran his fastest ever marathon after breaking his collarbone. Holy smokes, what a result that was. But Arthur Horseau surprised me more. He had the third fastest run on the day, the sixth fastest bike. He finished in sixth place. And if it wasn't for apparently his open water swimming and the mental block he has there, according to Sam Laidlow, I think he could have done even better. So he picks up the fifth best performance for me, and then Rudy von Berg, like I said. Lastly, my honorable mentions to Robert Wilkowiecki, a dark horse who I mentioned in my last video. He got ninth place, again, an all-around performance. Then Matthew Marquardt, unbelievable. He was first across the timing mat out of the water. He had a fairly decent bike and another 2:43 consistent marathon. This guy, if you don't know him, he's a med student as well. I don't know how he manages to do it all, but yeah, just one of those phenomenal human beings. He gets well-deserved honorable mention. And then Benjamin Hill, a former pro cyclist who was third age grouper at Ironman 70.3 Port Macquarie last year, then went and qualified at Ironman Australia, where he picked up his Nice qualifying spot, and he managed to finish in 13th place here ahead of Cameron Worth. So what a last couple of years Benjamin Hill has had. I had to give him a shout out. And with that said, that is the end of my top performance. Let me know what you guys think down below. Like I said, my unfortunate performances coming up next, and then I will do my top takeaways from the Nice World Championships and what I thought of it. So please do check that out as well. As always, have a good one. See you soon. Thank you for watching the video. If you're new around here, then don't forget to subscribe. This channel is all about helping triathlon become a huge sport through weekly news videos, highlights, motivational videos, race reporting, and anything else you can think of, with a splash of my own triathlon journey thrown in. The goal is for this to become the YouTube hub for everything professional triathlon, and I'd love to do it full time to give back to you and create an amazing community. To help me do that, I need you to get behind me by supporting me for the price of a gel on either Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee. You can also join in on the conversation on Discord and follow me on Instagram. The more support, the more content. And don't forget, it's simple. Try every day. We'll see you in the next one.